afternoon, whatever time. Random County. We're back with more bullshit for you. Back on our bullshit.
Another episode of the Random Roulette Podcast. Thank you for joining us.
I am Spooky Suki, as always, and I am here with hot tea pants. There you go. Hot tea pants.
Hot tea pants. Okay.
Yes. Don't spill hot tea on your pants. Or do, because you are hot tea pants. Whatever you would like there.
Oh. Wait. Are you sure it's not pants made out of hot tea?
Yeah, it's like those clear pants that have...
like the goldfish in them?
It's like the cups that have like all this glitter and shit in them, and you shake them. But it's pants, and they're full of hot tea. There you go.
I think fundamentally, clear pants defeats the purpose of pants.
Why? You just wear another pair of pants under it.
Huh.
Layers of pants.
Huh. Okay.
It's like an onion. You take one pair of pants off. There's another pair of pants.
More pants.
More pants.
That was a thing that I saw. It's like, what would be the weirdest thing to try to explain to aliens? It's like, I have a pair of secret pants that no one's allowed to see under the pants that I'm currently wearing. What you got there?
Is that up? That's up, I think.
Oh. Yes.
I don't know. I felt like it required in my ears.
That could be it.
All of it, even though we never touch these knobs in between. Actually, that's not true, because when I'm putting away...
Yeah, they get jacked up.
In other news, some guy's out there confirming the existence of aliens, and nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
That's just where we are as a society now. It's like, oh yeah, there's aliens out there. And everyone's like, oh yeah, well, can you lower property taxes instead, perhaps?
I mean, there are parts of the ocean that are so hot now that fish are drowning. Because over a certain temperature, water cannot hold dissolved oxygen, so fish can't breathe.
What a great time to be alive,
so
kids.
We don't want to worry about that. But aliens, it's like, are they going to help? No? Okay.
No, nobody gives a shit. Are they paying their taxes? Huh? Where's their taxes? God damn it. Yes, that. I had other news things, but...
We've been away for a while.
I got so excited about the one that I forgot all the others.
Well, there was a hotel-sized asteroid, which is my favorite unit of measurement.
Hotel size. We can't just use, like... Okay, so here's a complaint that people have about us Americans is they will use any other measurement besides a meter.
Besides the metric system. Or literally, okay, how big's a hotel?
Well, what kind of hotel?
Exactly. Like, are we talking just like, a little motel, like hanging out on the side of the road? Are we talking like, like an 8-story like Hilton?
Spicy. I don't know.
Technically, there are like skyscraper hotels in, large cities.
There's also like bed and breakfast hotels.
Mm. So yes, the the measurement of one hotel is a little vague.
Paul Rubens passed away at age 70.
Oh, yeah, Pee Wee Herman.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that one.
For cancer. What else we got? Oh, yeah, Twitter changed their logo to X.
X for some idiot reason.
See, somebody had showed me something on Twitter that day, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, shit, they changed the Twitter logo or whatever. And I was like, oh, they must have done that like forever ago, and I just didn't know about it. No, it was that freaking day.
Yeah. Yeah, like whenever there's a few people that still send me like links through Twitter. Like I've never had a Twitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, they send me stuff and it comes up as the X logo. But then it goes right back to the freaking bird. I'm like,
why is it?
I don't actually know.
Okay.
Like none of it makes any sense. All it is rich people playing with money. So I cannot.
Well, yeah, it's
give a shit
the
about
biggest rich douche canoe right now, which is Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the other thing that I actually gave a shit about is the Z Galaxy Z Flip is out. The new one.
Oh, yeah, the
I don't know if I'm
Vision 3.
going to get one yet, but,
I mean, the cool guy at the rock club had it.
Yeah, we know that guy.
Yeah.
I guess I knew that guy. I don't think he realized who I was either.
Maybe not.
But yeah, we went to rock club, too. That was pretty dope,
Yeah,
I think.
it was
Are we
amazing.
going to, like, permanently join?
I don't know. I think I kind of want to because those dudes seem kind of cool.
I think Frog Mama would like to as well.
Yeah. It's like, these are my people.
She was quite excited about it. That was...
Well, and there are a bunch
Loving
of like, it's like what, 6, 8, 10 retirees.
Next time we should play the age game with them because I think that would be kind of fun.
Next time we should bring booze.
Because Where was I at? I was at Hy-Vee buying booze, and the girl asked to see my ID or whatever. She's like, "Holy shit, you're a lot older than I thought you were."
Goddamn right.
Ouch. Maybe.
No, that just
I
means
don't
you take
know.
good care of your face.
Am I supposed to look old or not?
I don't know.
What else we got? I'm trying to like scroll through the Reddit news quick to see.
Oh God, what you doing? You
I should have wrote it down, but I didn't, and now here we are.
Danny Rick usurped Nick Debris.
Oh yeah, F1 happened.
Yes.
F1
Verstappen
will not be happening for a little bit now because it's
summer break.
spring. I keep on wanting to say spring break. I'm like, it's not spring.
Summer break. Yes, Verstappen still is on his reign of terror throughout the entire world. His episodes of the Max Verstappen podcast are getting pretty good.
Yes, the Max Verstappen podcast. I love that every time they
meme that one.
Yeah. Put the podcast
That's like the only
equipment
thing
in there.
It's the only thing Formula Dank has this year is the Max Verstappen podcast.
Yeah.
Since the Alonso hype train ran out of gas, and now, well, like McLaren got their shit together, but then quickly became stupid again.
I sent you that. It was a video of two cats, and one was sitting like politely in the box, and the other one was
upside down.
It was like Lando and Piastri.
Yes, because Piastri's from Australia. Australia, New Zealand.
Piastri?
Yeah. No, he's Australia.
I'm not sure. I keep getting it mixed up with the American guy.
Logan Sargent?
No, the other way on. The one that's not Fittipaldi.
Oh, he's Brazilian.
What? South Carolina? I thought he was American. I thought he was from South Carolina.
I think he's both.
I think his family is Brazilian, but I think he was born in America.
Oh, okay.
I bought an embroidery machine.
Yeah, I think it was dope as hell, and you got a hella deal on it.
I did. Saved $700.
Saved.
Oofda. Well, it works for me, so I'll use it.
Oh, in the time between our last episode and this one, r/place happened.
Oh, yeah.
The pixel art
I think
thing.
we talked about that last year, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It's actually, I mean, there's reasons why people don't like it, and especially for this year.
Why do people not like it? I don't understand.
Well, the reason why they, the whole like fuck Spez thing.
What?
Spez, he's the CEO of Reddit, and he basically sold it to a Chinese company. So that's when all like the subreddits like went to shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
I didn't realize that was the cause of that.
No,
bad.
but it was to create exposure. This is like the conspiracy theory. I'm using air quotes. It was to create exposure for Reddit so more people would use it.
I see.
And that drives up user base. So then, hey, look, Reddit's as good as it's ever been. Because everyone is writing fuck Spez a million times in this pixel art.
Spez. You know, I saw like a fuck Spez thing, but I never made the
you
connection.
never figured out what it actually was?
Of
Oh.
that, I guess.
There was one point, and it's so awesome because it's a living piece of art until it's eventually wiped out. They did it last year, and like when they did it last year, it actually like really made me feel kind of sad because it was like this really cool like pieces of art that were made by all these people from all around the world, and so much of it was just unique and bespoke.
Did it get whited out this year?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh.
But and one of the other problems with it this year was people were just creating bot accounts to place pixels.
Oh, that sucks.
So with just a simple like JavaScript, you can log into all these things, place these pixels, and have a piece of artwork come up instantly.
That sucks.
Also, streamers were having their audience draw stuff. So,
I mean, that's better than bots, though.
Yeah.
I'll give them.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's kind of cool because you're collaborating with people to do it. But if you're just having bots do it, that sucks.
Yeah. But there was one point where the French flag, because it's a tricolor that goes it's 3 vertical lines, and so they made it like stretch from the bottom to the top of the canvas, and they're putting all these like French things in it, and there's a few points during the whole experiment of the thing where the canvas would expand, and it expanded vertically once, and so they extended the flag down, and someone put a giant guillotine in the French flag and put Spez in it. It's like it was quickly removed. One of the coolest things, there's a Brazilian streamer who developed this tabletop RPG game, and he put a few of like the monsters in this RPG game in it. It was completely just unique artwork that was like really big pieces that kind of took up giant chunks. It was really cool to see just bespoke things like that. And the one of the last cool things was there was a group. I can't remember if they're streamers or if they're from something else. But if you were to watch the whole of r/place as a movie, they would be continually redrawing their little section of the board.
Yeah.
And it was frames of a video. And they recreated the video for Bad Apple.
I don't know if I know what Bad Apple is.
I'll show it to you after.
Okay.
Because it's copyrighted music. But they basically they recreated a black and white music video over the course of the life of our place.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
There's a scientific organization called Holotypic Oculopennid Research Group.
Ooh.
Can you make a gander as to what that is?
Holopenic, what?
Holotypic Oculopennid Research Group. Take a gander.
Let's see.
Take a guess.
Oculopenics, that's with your eyes. The research of holograms?
It's a group of biologists who study and classify bread clips.
Bread clips.
Bread clips.
What is a bread clip?
Oh,
like what goes...
A bread clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little...
goes on your bag of bread. Why did I have to study these things? We've already invented it.
Because a kind of bread clip a child may have swallowed makes it, harder to remove or to safely remove. So they study all these different bread clips. So when a child gets one lodged in their throat, they have better means of extracting them.
Did you just stumble across that just now?
No, I've been holding on.
Hell?
I've been holding on to this shit in my Instagram.
Oh man.
What other bullshit do I have in here? Endangered Hawaiian monk seals keep getting eels stuck up their noses, and scientists want them to stop. That was one of the best ones.
My oldest brother has this whole thing about how pandas are actually the most useless animal.
What are the most?
Pandas, like giant pandas. They're actually the worst animal because
but they're cute.
That's all they have going for them, and that's actually the only reason.
I'm fine with that.
They can go extinct and nothing would actually happen.
There's a lot more people that are more useless.
Well, I mean, yeah. Also, speaking of evolution, there are certain species of jungle cats that are developing...
Thumbs?
No.
If they're developing thumbs, we're screwed.
No, webbing between their toe beans. And so the thought is that they would actually become semi-aquatic. So we'd have water cats.
Yeah, but they already have webbing in their toe beans.
Yeah, but that's effective for swimming. Yeah.
How can they get more? Have you seen a cat's foot?
Well,
What the shit?
Well, yeah.
How can they have more?
Well, they're developing adaptations that would benefit them for the life in water, but they're also endangered species, so we might accidentally kill them before they get a chance. Which would be kind of sad because water cats.
That would kind of be terrifying, though.
I mean, like a jaguar is already
You have to say it the British way.
That's how it's spelled.
Jaguar?
Where's their W in jaguar? Jaguar.
It's all bad. English is bad. No matter
it's almost
what
like
dialect.
that word is not an English word at all.
All of it's bad.
Developed by indigenous people.
Yes. I'm literally going through and checking all of my shit because I was like, I have saved things for this, and now I cannot
recall them.
Oh, here we go. In 2007, a German team in 2 Jeep Wranglers climbed 21,804 feet above sea level. That's 6,646 meters for others. To the rim of Chile's, I don't know,
I
the
was
world...
going to say it had to be South America, it had to be the Andes.
the world's highest volcano and second highest mountain in the Western Hemisphere. Can you say that? Ojos del Salado?
Where?
Right there.
Oh.
This is why we need a camera.
Ojos de Salado, yeah.
Okay, sure.
Eyes of the... no, not Eyes of the Sun.
Weird that you know that.
But you don't know other languages besides English?
Ask me again. I dare you.
You know Japanglish?
This feat set a new world record for the highest altitude ever reached by a four-wheeled vehicle. And the team left a sign saying, Jeep parking only. All others won't make it up here anyways.
Oh, my God.
The following record breakers, a team of Japanese adventurers in Suzuki Samurai, removed the sign and took it home as a souvenir.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, yes, I did have a good one.
There is a city in, is it Peru or Ecuador? I don't know, but it's way, way up in the Andes Mountains, where they don't cook their food, and they also don't have candles or fires. Because they're so high up, there's not enough oxygen in the atmosphere for a flame to exist.
But you know how sad it would be if you couldn't start shit on fire?
I know. That's like one of the best parts of life.
How are you supposed to take your anger out on your enemies?
Actually,
Can't burn their house down.
This is one of my theories why whales haven't taken over the entire world. Because, I mean, they have bigger brains than us. They have
subjectively, because they're like freaking enormous. Did
Yeah.
you know you can swim through their arteries?
Yeah, if you're little.
No, if you're a normal sized person, you can swim through their parts of their heart.
But they form complex societies. They exhibit altruistic behavior, where like if there's a killer whales that are like bullying like a seal, like humpbacks will come and like dive onto the orcas to free the seal.
Yeah, there's been like in history stories of people befriending like packs of whales or certain whales.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could believe that.
But the only reason why they haven't taken over the world is because they can't create fire. And without fire, you can't really create anything. Plus, they don't have thumbs, which
Yes, they don't have thumbs.
That does help. But
you could smack the shit out of some bitches to get them to make fire. No? Or befriend the red group of humans.
I mean,
they can't technically live on land, though, right? Because of how their lung system works.
I don't know if they would actually be able to like hold up their own weight out of water. Also, how would they eat?
Yeah, that wouldn't work. Anyway.
When you think about it, a whale is also like a weird thing because we all started out as like, plankton and then like became fish and then the fish came to land and then became mammals and then that group decided they wanted to go back in the water.
No, I think some stayed in the water. Is how it goes.
No, whales actually evolved from like land, like terrestrial things.
Oh, did they go back?
Yeah.
I thought they didn't.
That's why it's weird.
Like them and sharks didn't.
Same thing with like seals. No, sharks are OGs.
Yeah, sharks never left.
Yeah, that's why they're so simple. They're just mouths.
Some of them are older than trees or something too. Like
yes,
batty shit.
Lineage of sharks. The first shark evolved like 400 million years before the first tree.
Speaking of sharks, can you believe they're coming out with a new freaking Meg movie?
Hell yes, I can. I can't wait.
Did you watch the first one?
Yes, it was amazing.
I don't know if I want to, on my boat of movies, I don't think I want to watch it. You'd have to get me to watch a movie first. We went and saw Barbie, though. That was the first time I had been in a theater for 4 years. The last movie that I had seen in a theater was...
Also had Margot Robbie in it.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which also had Margot Robbie in it.
I still haven't seen Oppenheimer. I do want to see that movie, though.
I don't know if I want to see that one.
I mean, it's definitely like more like my jam. I mean, Barbie was fun. Barbie was kind of cool.
Barbie was like... I don't know. My mind was just like... At that time, I was so tired from the week anyways, that my mind was just like, I don't know what's going on. So we went and saw Barbie. And then at the end, I was like, I have no idea what I just watched.
It was a Barbie movie.
Like, I know what happened, but I don't know.
There is a movie theory that Barbie and the Lego Movie are in the same cinematic universe? Because Will Ferrell in the Lego Movie is like a businessman that clearly has a lot of money because he can build all those Legos in his basement.
Yeah, but Lego and Mattel aren't part of the same company.
No, because Lego is actually Dutch or Belgian. I think they're Dutch.
I don't remember.
And then also Elf, because it's all toy based.
God, I hate Elf so much.
Elf too.
I hate that movie. And then, every single Christmas, without fail, somebody's like, "Let's watch Elf," and I'm like, "I'd rather die, thank you." No, I didn't find it ever funny. But I'm not very good at the whole stupid humor with movies.
Yeah.
Either. I don't really like Step Brothers that much.
No, that movie's it's Step Brothers has its place, but it's not any place anyone actually wants to go. If you want to just laugh at stupid shit, I mean, I can talk to my friends do the same thing because, whatever. But yes, the humor is supposed to be dumb.
Yeah, I don't know why I would want to go see a dumb humor movie when I can just go hang out with you guys.
I know.
I can see it in real life. I don't know. Barbie was fine though.
Yeah.
It was all right. I don't get the ending though. The ending kind of puzzles me.
She fixes Barbie world.
No, she becomes a person.
Oh yeah.
And that doesn't really make sense to me because you're just like, oh, I fixed everything. But it's you could still go back and forth to Barbie Land in the human world.
I don't know. She wanted to be human.
I'm confused about it. Does she still go back to the Barbie world? Or does she stay?
I don't know.
I don't either.
So.
I'm very confused. I'm concerned. Concerned citizen. Yeah, I don't know. It was fine. Margot Robbie's good though. I didn't realize that the last two movies that I've seen in theaters were Margot Robbie movies.
She does the the blank Barbie smile stare
thing
really well.
Oh, and it was really fun because you could see in her the press stuff that she did for the Barbie movie. She poses like a Barbie, and it's amazing.
Oh,
but
really?
she does it in such a good way that it's still lifelike and not too stiff. It's pretty great. I like that too. What else have we done besides Barbie movie and all that other shit?
We've been working on some music.
Yeah, not much though.
Yeah. Yeah, this has been kind of a crazy busy summer.
Yeah. It's been busy. I don't like it so much.
Yeah.
It's too busy. I feel like everybody's trying to ramp up still after the 3, 4 years of misery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, it's just been crazy hot. So I was like, we can't even camp or do anything.
Yeah, but that hasn't stopped us from doing everything else under the sun.
That's true.
Except for beard arts. Not much. Tried to do beard arts the other night, but it didn't really work out. I would like to do a beard arts tournament before the summer's over, but I don't know if we're going to get around to it.
We'll figure something out. Because Shredder really, really wants to.
Yeah.
But this last weekend, everyone was gone.
Yeah. I wonder what was this weekend?
I don't know. We'll figure that out, though.
Yeah. What are we at? Oh, we still got time.
Let's go to tea. Yeah.
Oh.
Let's go to milk, because we got a lot to cover with this subject, but we'll see how far we get.
Oh, you want to do it now?
Yeah.
Oh.
At Space, are we still doing Project Constellation?
It was just for their show that they had. I don't think they have any shows coming up in the Norfolk area that I know of. Anyways.
I need this. Why did I close
Contact
this
us for ad space.
Yep. We'll help you peddle your shit.
When I get that embroidery machine, I'm going to try to do some R&R embroidery pieces, maybe.
That'd be rad.
Maybe a t-shirt or something. I don't know. We'll see what I get up to.
Yeah, we'll see how this works for you.
Yeah. I got to figure out how to do it first, I guess. Wait, we have the frog pot for tea. And it is carrot cake tea.
It's actually pretty good. It's almost, it's kind of fall-like. It's a lot more,
You said you didn't like it the first time you had it.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, what we have generally, they kind of worked with the two, because it's, sweet potatoes and apples and pork chops and stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely, that foods was very fall vibe.
Yeah.
Which was cool, but it's The middle of summer.
Yes, it is. It's 100 and fuck degrees outside.
I don't know. I haven't really been outside that much. It hasn't felt that hot to me when I go outside, but I'm also like in here all day freezing, so it kind of feels nice when you go outside.
Yeah, it's like jumping into a sauna.
Yeah. It's nice and humid. I like humid rather than dry heat. I don't like dry heat much. Not a big fan. I think we talked about that.
I think we did.
For the Arizona trip, because it was very dry heat there,
Yes.
and I hated that. I thought it was terrible. I like the humidity. But I also don't like have hair that gets frizzy or anything like that, so I don't really have to worry about it that much. Does your hair get frizzy when it's really humid?
I always wear a hat. Some type of head covering.
So on your driver's license, it says hat.
Yes.
I see. Hat. Hat only.
Hair color is hat.
Hat. Can you do that? I don't know.
I don't know.
What is all this?
I always thought that like a driver's license is like a legally binding identification. You couldn't lie on it like basically it's like a passport.
Nah.
No.
Fuck 'em. Don't know. Okay.
So we're jumping into.
Got a lot.
Girls.
This will probably be a.
Well, we'll see how far we get. So, I started with Marie Curie.
Yes, Marie and Pierre.
Yes.
Were working on their lab.
I kind of like them. They're like a husband and wife, like superhero, like duo. Like they were like.
You know, I actually don't know a lot about him.
Well, no, because she was the badass.
Yeah.
Like, she's actually one of only like 2 or 3 Nobel Prize winners in 2 different disciplines.
When did they start doing the Nobel Prize? Do you know?
I don't know, but I do know the Nobel Prize, like the actual
Medal thing?
who it's named after. I can't remember his name, but he was the first person to weaponize dynamite.
What?
And use it as bombs.
What? Okay.
Because dynamite, it was
right.
it was a mining device.
Yeah.
Like, used to like break rocks. Like, no, but we can kill people with this. that was
And they hadn't had that thought before then?
I mean,
How long was dynamite around before he thought of that?
I don't know.
I think humans are pretty death crazy, so I think they would have. You think they would have thought about it before that?
No, I mean, my argument there is like, okay, so when you have like there's a horror writing award that's in H.P. Lovecraft's name, it's like, he was like a racist and eugenicist. It's like, yeah. Well, the guy who the Nobel Prize is named after literally created dead people. Like,
Yep.
so.
I mean, yeah.
But in physics and chemistry.
Oh, gotcha.
Because not only did she discover and identify and classify several radioactive elements, but also invented like a medical X-ray machine.
Yep. So the 21st of December, 1898, those two were busy in their lab, isolating radioactive compounds, and stumbled across some glowing shit, which they named radium, for emitting energy in the form of waves. Rays. Wow.
Yes.
Great spelling there. Of rays, light rays, which give it its distinct color, which is kind of greenish.
Yeah, it glows a little bit.
You think it's something glow in the dark.
Yes.
That.
Yeah.
It's exactly that. Do you have any more on the beginning there? Because that's kind of where I stopped there, because I was kind of loop back at the end.
I do know that she actually carted around a portable X-ray machine during the First World War, and the field.
Okay.
I don't know if she was part of the Red Cross. I don't think the Red Cross was established then, but like the what am I thinking of? The field hospitals, like the triage, like when they bring in soldiers, like they be able to see broken bones. It's like, oh yeah, just stand in front of this thing and just wait a little bit, and then this piece of paper on the other side will see inside you. Like,
yeah, that's got to be weird.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the kind of thing that you think of happening at that time either. I guess. Me, I don't picture that. So when was the first car out and about?
About the
You should know this.
1880s.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Benz motor wagon.
It'd be those types of cars herp-derping around.
Yeah. Well, a steam engine with some wheels attached to it.
Yeah. It's a lot of weird shit. Anyway. So we're going to start by taking a stroll into the USRC, which is the United States Radium Company, trying to get a job. So we walk in there, and there's a nice chipper lady. And down the hallway, you see...
What year is this? Paint the picture. Is this like the 20s,
God
30s,
damn it,
40s?
I didn't put the year. Shut the fuck up. I think it's the 10s. I think it was the 10s. If I remember right.
I haven't had that written down either.
God damn it. Look at his spells. I'm pretty sure it was in the 10s when this started happening. And you see down the corridor, and are led down the corridor, and there's desks of chipper young ladies painting away at these dials. You're like, wow, that looks great. And they're talking amongst themselves, having a good time. And the lady's like, you too can do this such thing. You're going to have to picture being a lady here.
Okay.
Getting along with ladies.
Okay. Wait, ladies get along with other ladies?
Yes, sometimes. And she's like, yes, you too could be a dial painter. For a really good wage, you're going to make more than your dad. You're going to be your family's breadwinner, which is a big deal if you're super poor. Yeah. Like some of these poor ladies.
Well, and like this company's huge.
Yes, the company's quite large. At this time, I
know there's a bunch of plants in Ohio. I know there's one in Illinois.
Well, this is just the one in Orange. So
okay.
I am strictly only on Orange.
Okay.
And then it's like the New York area.
Yeah.
They are licking their brushes, sticking it in the radium, and painting away.
She's got to get like a fine tip on these things. So
yes,
they're painting watch dials that,
Yeah, so
the paint is so then they glow in the dark.
Yep.
You don't have to.
So this is called lip pointing, and it's what they were instructed to do. So you decide you want to work here because, yeah, great wages, great time, bunch of girls hanging out. Younger girls, it's usually, they were like, I think the youngest was like 11.
Okay.
11 and up, anywhere up to like 28 or something. So it's just a gaggle of girls just hanging out.
This is before child labor laws, yes.
Yes. So they train you in the lip pointing method, which is where you put the brush kind of in between your teeth. You kind of crunch it down. And it has the radium powder. And then you paint these really fine things like the numbers and the hands and stuff, and super, super smooth detail. So you have to be really good at this. And they train you, which is great. And then they send you out on the floor. And you're painting dials. And if you get really good at painting dials, they'll have you do inspection and corrections. So that was kind of the cycle of what your employment could be there. And then after you get really good at inspecting and fixing, then you could be a trainer, which is what the first lady was. So Grace Fryer was one of the girls who had joined, along with Catherine Schaub. Catherine was 15 when she started at the company.
Oh, before we get like too deep into this thing, do you want to talk about like what radium actually was or its usages? Because I have a lot of that.
No, that's the end.
Okay.
That's for the end.
Okay.
I'll talk about that at the end. Because I feel like if you spell out a lot of that stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Then you're right. I see what you're building.
Both girls felt extremely lucky to have found well-paying jobs and friends around their ages. Other girls loved it so much they brought their family members. So the Megia clan of girls, I think there were seven girls total in the family, and I think 5 of them had worked at the dial painters for various amounts of time. And then Catherine's cousin, Irene Rudolph, worked there. She got her to work there too. And Sarah and Marguerite Carlo worked there as well. And there was other gaggles of sisters and things, but these are our main characters. After working there for a little while, Catherine, being 15 at the time, started noticing some strange pimples on her face. And so she went to the medical doctor about them. They're like, oh, no, you're going through that age. You're fine.
Yeah, you're a teenager. You get acne.
And then they were reassured that the paint was safe. It's fine. She's just having problems because she's of that age, you know?
Would doctors at that time like prescribe face cream with like heroin in it or something?
Not good stuff. Let's just say that. And then when World War I started, the factory was an absolute gold mine. They were getting so many orders for things because World War I.
Oh, I mean, seeing in the dark in
Yep.
wartime. Yeah.
Yep.
So not only
Helpful
you're not just painting watch dials, you're
Yes.
painting everything.
Yep. So patriotism too.
Oh yeah.
You're being a lady patriot. You're helping the war efforts.
Rose the Riveter and all that. Well, that was World War II, but same idea.
Yeah. But even after the war ended, they were still having no delays of slowing, like no signs of slowing down. They were just cranking them out. Lip pointing was the best way to utilize the least amount of radium because radium was kind of hard to come by.
It was, yeah, extremely
It was
valuable.
pretty expensive. The girls would wear their best clothes to the factory because after work, they would just glow. And they would go out and be glowing. They would call them ghosts of the night and stuff because they were constantly glowing. They had radium.
Just like little bits of powder all over them.
All over their face, their mouth, their clothes, everything. Their hair. They were just covered in it. And they were like impressive jewels of the night because they were glowing and going out and having fun. They were just being girls, having fun.
Yeah.
Being glowy.
Is that a common thing?
They would actually go into like a back room and take some of like the extra powder and mix it up and like paint their faces with it and stuff.
Oh God.
Yeah. But soon some of the girls started falling ill. The first one was Molly.
Was she the youngest?
She was not the youngest. Oh. Molly Magia, I have no idea. It's Maggia.
Magia?
Magia.
Maybe she's Italian.
So her teeth had kind of started to bother her. And at that time, what do dentists do when a tooth is bothering you?
Pulled teeth.
Yeah, they take it out. So she had teeth removed. But she was still having some issues. She started having a bad breath issue, so much that she didn't want to talk anymore because it was bad. The spots where the teeth had been pulled became increasingly infected.
Ew.
And that's what was causing her bad breath smell.
Oh, yeah, because...
So she went and saw a dentist about that as well. And, they pulled some of her jaw out.
Oh, God.
Because her jaw was starting to rot.
Ugh.
And they could not figure out why. So they were doing all of these operations and stuff on her. But she just kept getting worse. Her mouth became more and more infected. I think they went to pull one of her last teeth on her bottom jaw, and part of her jaw came out with it.
Dear God.
Yeah. And nothing was healing. Everything was becoming increasingly infected. And in less than a year, her infection spread to her throat. And then, the last bits of her jaw, bottom jaw, were falling out, and some of her top jaw was falling out. Eventually, it ate through her jugular vein. And after her mouth flooded with blood, she died. Horribly.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm trying to picture a worse way to go. That might actually be top of the list. Oh, God.
Might change your mind later. She died on September 12th, 1922 at 25. She was the first recorded death. But they had listed her cause of death as syphilis, which is odd because when she was going through all of this, she got tested for it and she was negative. But after she had passed away, they tested her again and it was positive. So her official cause of death was syphilis.
I don't think syphilis rots your jaw out from the inside. I'm not a doctor, though, so don't quote me.
So Grace Fryer worked for the USRC from 1917 to 1920. She left for a bank job around 1920. But in a short while, she started feeling some pain in her back and feet. She also had 2 teeth removed, but her infection cleared up within 2 weeks.
Oh, well, she's fine. She's probably like standing wrong or something like that, or
However, 6 months later, it returned.
Okay.
Irene Rudolph was starting to feel ill in 1922 as well, after working on and off as a dial painter through the years.
Mm.
Her jaw was also giving her trouble, and she had teeth taken out and blood transfusions to no avail. She also started to rot away, like Molly. So her jaw started coming out and stuff. They also tested her for anemia, which she did have.
Well, there's a lot of things that cause that. Like, anemia is just low blood iron.
Yeah, but this was like significant.
Yeah.
And shows up more later.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
2 other girls were also having trouble around that same time as Irene. Hazel and Amelia. Amelia is a sister of Molly.
Yes.
I think she's younger.
Okay.
But Irene also died on July 1923 at 20 years old.
What's the syphilis again?
No, they said it was necrosis.
Oh, so rotting flesh. Just she was parts of her were dying, and then she died. It's like,
yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That was my favorite when like a celebrity dies of cardiac arrest. It's like, yes, that is death. Like,
yeah.
He died of dead.
Yep. After Irene's death, Catherine brought up a complaint, but it was shut down.
Well, of course, because, women in the workplace in the 1920s.
Yeah. Well, and they had somebody visit and found no major defects among the staff working there at that time. So the girls working there, while this was going on, had no problems with their health. So must not be.
So they're trying to play it off as, these are just 3 isolated incidents.
Well, they're saying since Molly had syphilis.
Oh, yeah.
And Irene had necrosis, they're not related. They're 2 different things. Nothing the same going on there, even though they're the same symptoms and things. But Irene didn't test positive for syphilis, so that's the difference. Yep. The USRC also did their own investigations, calling a Dr. Drinkers in to do like a report, basically, on it. And he was a industrial hygiene specialist.
Yeah.
The Department of Labor said they had no concerns about what had happened. So Catherine was basically shut down. So the investigation results from the drinkers, because when they called in Dr. Drinker, he had tag team with his wife, who's also a doctor, so she's also Dr. Drinker.
DR Drinker.
It got a little confusing.
Well,
but the investigation results from the drinkers.
Why do we have cool names like that anymore?
Drinkers?
Like, yeah, we're all Smith and Anderson, and I guess there are some people around here that have cool last names, but like they have like all the cool old school names, like was Edna?
Vincent?
Elise? What was her name?
What? Which one?
Molly's sister.
Molly's sister. Which one? There's 5 of them.
Okay, well, never mind. No.
I also skipped a page in my notebook.
The comment was they had cool names.
Yeah. So the report from the drinkers got back to the USRC, and Arthur Roeder, the president at the time, basically withheld the entire report except for the part that he wanted.
Of course.
Yep. So Marguerite. I think it's Marguerite. Had also been feeling some bad things. And her story is kind of a big deal, so we'll get around to that in a bit. But she was in the hospital, and her sister, Sarah, the other one that worked there, was really worried about her and had been visiting her, and this particular visit, Dr. Harrison, Matley, God damn it, Martland, there we go. It's like, oh god, I remember his name. Martland had kind of noticed she was limping around and had some strange bruises. So he asked Sarah to sit down and be like, hey, I think you're not doing so hot. But she was so worried about Marguerite that, like, it hadn't really dawned on her that she wasn't feeling well, basically. So then she was also hospitalized with Marguerite in the same room. And Dr. Hartland had kind of come up with a way to test. It was using, like, a gamma ray scanner. So he would scan them breathing out of a tube in their beds, basically. He would scan their breath for radiation.
Yeah.
And how much radiation was there.
It's because, like, Geiger counters hadn't been invented yet.
Yeah. So a normal, like, what do they call it? Subsidiary is 8.5. Sarah's was 15.4. And Marguerite's was 99.7.
Good God.
So it was not good. It was not good for them. But of course the USRC did everything in their power to discredit his test. Otherwise, but it's a solid test. But they were just like, nah. And like that's one of the big things about this whole thing is
how much USRC does deny.
Yeah. Not only that, they tried to discredit people that were, like, working by saying, well, how do you know it's radium poisoning if no one's ever worked with it before? How do you know that's what it is? Like, that was one of their big things, and I was like, I don't understand. Of course.
The only people this is happening to are the people that work here. I think there's, like...
Well, not even that, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But they were just like, they were discrediting all of these doctors and dentists and stuff that were like, this is radium poisoning. They were like, how do you know? Nobody's ever seen radium poisoning before. You could just be making that up.
And the chemistry for detection for that probably hadn't been invented yet either.
Well, anyway, so...
Like, I don't know he died of a bullet wound, because there's a bullet wound.
Then Sarah had kind of been declining pretty quickly. So she was removed from Marguerite's room to get her treatment. On June 18th, 1925, Sarah passed away after only being in the hospital for a week.
So she was right next to her sister.
Well, she had been out of her sister's room for 4 days already.
Okay.
And they didn't tell Marguerite until later because they were afraid of what it might do to her. After Sarah's autopsy, Dr. Marland tested all the bones and like her tissues and things.
Yeah.
And they were all radioactive. So much that he said that Sarah's bones were almost still alive because of how much radioactive.
What?
He put X-ray
like film
over them, and they left a picture still.
What?
After they were out of her body and she was dead.
Oh.
All of her tissues were still like crazy radioactive, which you find out that radium has like a crazy ass half-life and shit, but that's later.
Yes.
So Marguerite had enough and just decided to file a lawsuit for $75,000 at 23. She is 23.
Do you know what the inflation fat is?
I don't, because I didn't write it down, but it's insanity.
Yeah, I think
it's a lot.
It comes out to be, I think it's like 1.3 million, like in today's money.
Yeah. On February 5th, 1925. So she would have been... Oh, no, that would have been before Sarah had passed away. So Sarah was a part of that lawsuit along with Hazel Kuser. So it was 3 girls in this lawsuit. And then Sarah passed away, so hers was after.
Number 2.
I think Hazel passed away shortly before she actually got the suit filed. So that's now 5, I think.
So it's 5 deaths or 5 people involved?
That's 5 deaths.
This is over the course of what, about 2-3 years? That this whole thing was happening? So I thought it started in what, 21? This is now 23?
Yeah, they started working around. Well, Grace started working in 17. But I think their ales started in 1922.
Okay.
So this would have been like 3 years after.
Yeah.
Shit started going south. One of the Catherines also wanted to. Yeah, Catherine Schaub wanted to file suit as well. But according to the statute of limitations, for when she had worked, had been too long after for her to claim it as being like an industrial hazard
it's not
thing.
an industrial accident because she was removed enough for so long. It's like,
yep. So Dr. Martlin and Catherine made a list of the doomed in the summer of 1925. So Catherine had sat there and listed to him all of the ladies that she knew that she worked extensively with.
Yeah, all of her work friends.
And she said, all of these people are going to die. Like, we're going to keep dying. And she kind of lost her mind about it. She kind of went crazy. She had to be hospitalized for nervous disorders because Dr. Marlin had basically figured out from Sarah's autopsy that there's no cure and they're all gonna die, basically. And she was like, I kind of accepted it, but like it still kind of drove me crazy. It's like, yeah, I mean, if you know you're gonna die from this, that would kind of drive you nuts.
Yeah.
So one of the other Maggie sisters, Albania, she wasn't having any problems. She was super excited for her first child with her husband. And she went in to have the baby. And it was stillborn.
Oh.
Now we're back to Marguerite. Sorry, I had to reorganize some of this stuff, so I'm trying to figure out. Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, Marguerite was not, she was not doing so hot. And mind you, this is all while the suit is going on. She's still fighting really hard for this suit, and she's actually done, like, super well, and they're really surprised that she's hanging on. One of the doctors was like, she's been half dead for a week.
No, by pure rage.
Yeah. Her blood was almost white.
Dear God.
Her blood cell count was barely compatible with life.
Jeez.
So she was still fighting the whole time, though. And she was encouraging other ladies to fight as well. But unfortunately, Marguerite died on December 26, 1925, 2 years after having her first tooth removed, 6 months after her sister Sarah. But she went out fighting, so that's kind of where her story is she started the whole process of, they're responsible for this, and they should deal with it. Because she's going against the U.S. Radium company.
Yeah.
Marguerite, Hazel, and Sarah technically won their... Well, they didn't get to have, like, the lawsuit part. And by the way, they're all dead by this time, which sucks.
Yeah.
It was settled with a modest compensation, but it wasn't even enough to cover their medical bills.
Yeah.
And the Radium company, part of the the settlement was they're not accepting fault. They're just saying it's unfortunate what happened to these girls and yada yada, but we don't accept any fault because when we tested them and stuff, they were just dying of an unknown bacterial disease.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So, Grace Fryer was also looking to get just a small $5,000 from the USRC for her medical bills because she was having issues as well and getting a lot of medical bills stacked up. So she was like, yeah, $5,000. That's really not that bad. It won't even cover all of my medical bills. But they were like, nah, we don't acknowledge that you're even making this offer right now.
Yes.
And our dear Mr. President Roeder was this whole time hiring like doctors and things that like were like, no, radium is our miracle drug. It's gonna change the future. It's gonna cure every single cancer. And it wasn't until 1926 that Mr. Roeder resigned from being president, but he was still on the board.
Still pulling strings.
Yep. Yeah, so Grace was having a hard time. She was freaking struggling because her spine had holes in it. And they couldn't figure out why. On January 29th, 1927, she had a solid steel back brace. Jeez. At 27. In May of 1927, Raymond Barry took up Grace's suit for $250,000, which would be $3.4 million today, because she was pissed. She asked for $5,000 to begin with, and now she's asking a lot more.
Yeah, orders of magnitude, which rightfully deserved.
Yeah. He also took up 5 other, there's 5 total. So there was 4 other girls besides Grace that were part of this suit, and it was Albania, Catherine, another lady called Edna. Who was the other one? I didn't write it down. Mm-hmm. But in the summer of 1927, the case was dubbed as five women deemed to die. It's like, oh, geez. And 3 dial painters had died in another radium factory in Waterbury. But this was covered up by a Dr. Finn.
All right.
Probably a good place to stop because it just keeps getting crazy.
I don't know.
That's a cliffhanger, by the way.
We've done longer episodes, and we're actually not that far. But we can keep going.
No, because I have more that I want to add.
You want to research? Okay, fine.
Because there was bits that I wanted more on. So that's it. We're going to stop with Dr. Finn because he was an asshole.
Okay. All right.
So we'll get to this Dr. Finn character next time. Because that gets... Let me mark where we were. How about that?
Yeah.
It's probably good.
Because, this... I knew...
And I went through all of that, really fast.
Yeah. I knew that the Radium Girls were a thing.
Yeah.
And, I knew that, it was, this, horrible medical thing that happened. I didn't know that it was actually evil.
Yeah, absolutely. You just... that's what I thought, too, when I went into this. I was like, oh, this is just, awful tragedy that... No, this shit could have been prevented.
Because, the same thing with, Marie Curie. It's what happened to her was, tragic, but, she literally, gave the world this insane scientific, advancement.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like a scientific martyr almost, just because, she didn't know that what she was doing was actually killing her.
Yeah.
It's
we'll get to
these motherfuckers knew.
Yeah. There was stuff that I left out, the guy that invented the radium paint.
The paint, the undark.
Yes.
Is it undark or anti-dark?
It's undark.
Undark.
Had whispered to Grace at some point, you shouldn't do that. that'll make you sick.
Mm.
But had never said a single thing after that again.
Mm-hmm.
And he had also started developing sores on his hands.
No, because he's working with the stuff.
And but in the lab, the actual lab people had been wearing like lead vests and stuff, and had been taking precautions because they had noticed other male lab people getting sores on their hands and shit. They're like, oh, we should probably do something about this. And then didn't say anything to the girls about literally putting it in their mouth. So,
and they start rotting from the inside out. It's like, oh, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
It wasn't me.
And some of the girls had still been working there when they started having ailments.
Yeah.
Like one of the girls started
still coming into work.
Yeah. Well, they didn't know.
Yeah, I guess.
None of them knew. And that's what sucks is, like, somebody could have said something, and the company had every opportunity to say something about this, and didn't. They failed every single step of the way. They even, like, fabricated shit to be like, no, this is fine. Look at all of these girls working at the factory. They're perfectly healthy.
Mm-hmm.
We got their blood and stuff, and they're fine. There's no deficiencies. None of them have anemia. It's bad. Yeah. It's really bad. And, I mean, we'll get to it because that's part of the last part I want to do is this was a big deal.
Yeah.
And it changed a lot of things for that kind of stuff. But that's for next episode.
I think this is our first continuation that wasn't like a TV series or a movie.
It is, I think.
It is actually kind of fantastic.
I mean, it's a lot to unpack.
It is. And like, and also in a way it's, kind of, remembering these girls. Like, they didn't deserve what happened to them. They didn't deserve to be lied to.
Well, and it's like, it's good to remember because the way things are today, this could very well happen again. Perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that sucks too. All on its own. Woohoo. Isn't it great?
History never repeats, but it often rhymes.
Maybe we'll just get taken over by the aliens.
I mean, if the aliens come and finish us off, thank God.
Oh, no, I just meant like take over.
Oh, that one too.
Not murder us. That would be great.
No, I saw something like that. It's like, the aliens come in, it's like, haha, we're here to enslave you and take over your planet. It's like, well, our leaders already kind of do that. It's like, wait, what? Well, fine. We're here to bleed you of all of your resources. It's like, you're never going to guess.
Yeah, it's like, could they do better? Probably. I don't know. After we've been taking all their, like, dead bodies and shit, they probably won't be very happy with us. That was part of that whole thing. Did you listen to any of that? Because there was like an actual like video of them having that entire discussion, and the entire time I was like, "What is happening?"
God, we're off this tangent, but there's a book series. It's called The Three Body Problem, and
Three body problem. Is that what you said?
Yes,
okay.
the three body problem. It's an astronomical conundrum. But one of the main premises of the book series is the Fermi paradox, which I kind of want to do a whole episode on that. But
what?
The Fermi paradox is like, if there's aliens, why haven't we made contact yet? And it's all the reasons as to why.
But isn't that part of the government thing right now? Is like they have, but they've been covering it up for a long time.
Yeah. But it's a thought experiment.
Oh.
And one of them is called the dark forest theory.
Okay.
Which, imagine the universe as a dark forest. You can't see anything and nothing can see you. The only thing that you know is anything out there is trying to kill you. So the first thing that you do is if anything tips you off, you go into attack mode.
Oh.
So one of the main premises of this book is there's a way to send a signal into deep space, but it would also notify that all these other civilizations that are out there that are on high alert, that are trying not to kill each other. It's like there's this alien race that's basically they're on their way to invade the solar system, and they somehow make contact. I need to read the whole series, but Basically, they're holding their home planet at gunpoint. It's like, we can make it sound like this whole huge thing's come from your house unless you guys fuck off. Because it would trigger all of the other dark force entities to come and attack them. Yeah.
I don't know. We did that, though, didn't we? We sent something out into space and got something back for like 5 seconds.
There's always weird shit happening with like Voyager just because the signal, it's so far away that it degrades. It's like maybe something different's happening. Plus, the thing was built in the 70s, like with technology from the 50s.
Yeah.
So, like,
True.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll see how that all plays out. I'm curious. I listened to some of it, and I was like, I don't even know what they're saying half the time. So I was like, because at one point I was like, could you name us, like, people that you know that, have seen such... Because, like, he was saying that I have proof of this shit because a plane was going, like, I think it was just, like, a normal... or it was a private plane or something, but there was a staff on board, and one of the staff took pictures of this, like, floating orb thing. They have the picture, and he has the picture or something. But he wanted to talk more extensively with, like, the crew and stuff, but he only got to talk to the one flight member. He was only allowed to talk to the one member that actually took the picture, but all of these other people had seen it as well, or some shit like that. And then he was like, he knows some people that work in that certain division that deals with that shit or whatever. The alien division, because apparently we have one of those. Just like we have a zombie backup plan or whatever the fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, well, can you give it the name of these people? And he was like, not in public.
But that's classified. It's
like,
I'm not going to let you send your goon squad after him and murder this guy.
Yeah. But he was just like, it was crazy to listen to because apparently, like, other people had seen sort of the shit before too, and they were just told not to talk about it. And all kinds of other shit. And it's like,
I'm still of the thought camp of what the hell are they covering up actually? Because we talked about this last time that why are UFO sightings only a United States thing? Well, why do aliens only come to America?
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they do happen in China too, but we just don't hear about them because China
or Russia because Russia.
Yeah, like it could be happening at other places, but maybe those people are just like, not my problem. Maybe we're too noisy as Americans. Noisy? Both. Oofda.
Yeah.
Anyways, we went from talking about people dying to aliens.
And we'll probably do it again next week. But yeah, definitely tune in to the next episode for the continuation of the Radium Girls Part 2.
Yeah, I would definitely, if you're like super into this, I would definitely recommend reading the book because it goes into a lot more detail. And it like, the problem I had trying to read the book and do the research at the same time is the book like hops around a lot.
Oh, it's not a linear time.
So yeah, it'll talk about like what's happening to the girl and then like what's happening to the company, what's happening investigations wise, and then I'll get back to a different girl and what's happening to her life and more back to it really hops along. I wish it was a little more linear, but there was so much going on at the same time that it would be really hard to make it linear.
Yeah.
So it kind of is linear, but it's just like it's been rough. It's been rough trying to because I had written in another notebook my notes, and then I kind of tried to organize them to make in a way that made sense for this, but towards the end, I was just looking at the book and was like, okay, just piece this shit together. But yeah, I would definitely recommend reading the book because it goes into a lot more detail of their conditions and stuff like that, and how absolutely insane this all is. But I'm really excited for next week because it really gets into some of the nitty gritty of the case of the girls that were still alive, which is absolutely insane because it's just more deny, negligence, blah, blah, blah.
I don't recall. Yeah.
Yeah.
I plead the fifth.
Get objection. Yeah, so tune in to next week, perhaps.
Yep. In the meantime, if you can't dazzle them with your intelligence, baffle them with your bullshit.
I thought you were going to actually say something.
Oh.
Not that.
So remember, you can't pee your pants if you're not wearing any.
Just don't wear pants.
And hydrate before you dehydrate.
Yes, hydrate before you dehydrate. Bye.
Bye.